Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with the Timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is Two of Swords and Ten of Cups. And Queen of Cups. Two of Swords and Ten of Cups can be you looking at something but not having realized something important yet, but you sort of working on that, like you're getting there, like you're getting closer to realizing something. Ten of Cups is gonna have to do with like your long-term sense of happiness. It can just be about like what brings you joy in general, or what will long term feelings of like joy and peace or fulfillment within your life, just like a sense of contentment, or even just that feeling within you of like, okay, like this feels right, this is how things are supposed to be, especially on an emotional level, because we have Queen of Cups here. So it can just be something that hasn't, Two of Swords is something that hasn't been fully realized yet, but you're on the verge of realizing something. It's just like you're almost there, but you're not there yet, but you're very close to being there, very close to realizing something very, very important, something very, very key. Now, why would this be? Why do we have a Two of Swords here rather than an Ace of Swords? It looks like it has to do with something that had happened in the past. This doesn't feel like it has to do with something that's currently going on. This feels like it has to do with something that has already passed, but you're still processing feelings about it. Kind of feels like until you really admit something to yourself and allow yourself to really feel that, whatever this is, and this can be something that's heavier, something that's more difficult to allow yourself to feel, to allow yourself to be in that space of this is actually what happened, this is really what happened, in a place of acceptance. Because of that, that can sort of be where this split vision comes from of I can't see things how they presently are because back there I didn't fully integrate something, and now it's like half integrated self is sort of blurring my vision currently. And there can also be fear involved in this. Like there can be something that's like a fear response to not accepting this. If I really allow myself to feel this, if I really allow myself to experience the reality of what has occurred, with Five of Cups here, see how this Nine of Swords is sort of looking at it? What this means is that when something happens and it's different than what we wanted or what we expected or what we thought was going to happen, or like I had a concept in my head of like how things were going to be and that's what I wanted, but almost like a resistance to accepting what had happened. It can feel very scary to allow ourselves to accept that, because then what happens next? It means that that thing is over then, and something else is going to be happening after that. But there can be this feeling of I don't want to let that die, even if I'm miserable here. The fear of allowing that to die and going into the unknown of the next thing is holding me back. So I'm staying in this position where this is very uncomfortable. I'm not having a good time here holding on to this, but it's sort of like the alternative of going into the next cycle is worse. That can be the feeling, the voice of fear is worse than sitting here with this in a place where something has happened and I'm just not ready to admit that to myself, or not ready to accept how I feel about it, like not allowing myself to fully go there. This feels like something so deep, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. It's like when we refuse something to let it go, there's still that, like, because I haven't fully accepted that this happened, it's still possibly in an unconscious way like a possibility to me, even though it's not really. And that's what needs to be seen, of like, this isn't going to make me happy, you know, it'll be like that type of thing. And I actually have the ability, I have the option to move in the direction of what will really bring me like authentic joy and connection within my life. I'm not going to feel it in this position, but because of my resistance to accepting how I really feel about it, it's not allowing me to move towards what I want. I'm just staying in this position of what I don't want. But because I'm not accepting that, I'm not able to move on from it, because if this didn't work, what if I go to the next thing and that doesn't work, you know, and that doesn't work and that doesn't work. It's kind of like safety in what you know, even though you're not happy with that, or even though it didn't sort of like meet your expectations or like what you needed internally. But it's better to be in that known, again, fear speaking, better to be in that known than be in the unknown of like, what if things get worse than this? Like, this is a disappointment, I know, and maybe I can be okay with that. What if I go to the next thing and it's worse? Shouldn't I just stay here then? And it's like how that thought process sort of keeps you in that position of things can actually get better. And I think instead of having this, and this can be on an unconscious level too, it's not like we consciously do this and consciously stay in this position. It's something that when you do a deep dive, it's stuff that you can uncover about your unconscious beliefs that you have that keep you in a position that you're not happy in that position, and you can move in the direction of what would be more fitting for you. But that feeling of like what though is going to happen, if that's not like an absolutely assured thing, I don't want to take that risk, I don't want to take that chance, and I'd rather just stay here. So that's something that can be happening. Fear of the unknown. It feels like choosing unhappiness over the possibility of the unknown and what can unfold, even though in the unknown, that's where you can find what you're looking for. It feels like that type of thing. And that's what you're working on right now. And that's where this like dual vision is coming from. That's why you can be like, I can see that would potentially be a possibility, but I'm having a hard time moving out of this thing that I'm within. And it's because of not having that breakthrough of understanding yet, where you're seeing that. So getting curious about both of the sides of this in order to understand it. I think too that if you don't fully admit to yourself that you're not happy with something, or that something isn't exactly as you thought it would be, if you refuse to admit that to yourself, it's going to keep you sort of within that until that truth is realized, and it's going to keep you from being involved in what will actually feel happy for you. And I'm using the term happy loosely. The Ten of Cups is going to be like you being in a situation where it is a source of joy within your life. Something is going on that is definitely not a source of joy within your life, but it may be a source of something that you know. Like, I can rely on this to sort of disappoint me, but at least I understand what it is. Or I can rely on this not to be enough or not to be what I need. And I'm seeing that be better than the alternative of stepping into the unknown, because again, like, what if it's worse than this? And it can be something that it's like a very unconscious belief that we have, that's this fear that we experience that really keeps us from reaching new heights that we can reach. So I think being in a position where you're becoming curious and learning about this, like where this dual vision comes from, what is not allowing me to see the truth, like what is going on that's not been fully integrated, that's not allowing me to move forward and to step into the next chapter. And what I'm seeing is that there is very much a new chapter that's becoming available to you, because I'm seeing Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck. And what Ace of Cups means is like something becomes available to you. It's like a door that arrives, that opens for you, that can lead you to your 10 of Cups. This is like the first step in that direction. So that is what's available to you, and I'm getting this feeling within you. See how this Queen of Cups is reaching for that? Like this is the Queen of Cups within you, which all of us have within us. The Queen of Cups within you that knows what your real joy is, and fulfillment and satisfaction and peace and contentment with your life, and feeling like you're where you're supposed to be. That part of you is reaching for that. But until this is realized, it's going to be like unobtainable. And I think that's something that you may be coming to the conclusion of, if you'll admit that. I feel too like this fear is sort of like blocking your curiosity and your interest in sort of looking for something that will feel more aligned. Feels like it's not allowing that part of you to sort of look around and see what's out there. Realization through integration. It feels too like maybe taking some type of chance or being more explorative when it comes to what you feel is more magnetizing from the heart space, what's calling you, versus being within something, knowing your heart space is not feeling connected, but being like, we're just going to sit here and stay here. And it feels like that sort of on repeat. But you may have to sort of come face to face with certain fears. Like it feels like a leap of faith emotionally, in order for you to be happy and to move in that direction, and to be in this position where you're getting curious again of, this can be me figuring out what that's going to be. I'm definitely not going to find it here. I may not have totally admitted that to myself because I'm scared of what that means then. Like I'm scared of the adventure. It can be like that type of thing that's coming into play, and sort of like wrapping your head around that. And that's what's happening. I do get the sense that you're going to be moving into a space where you can be looking at options that you have that maybe you weren't willing to even consider before. And that is going to make a big difference here. But there is definitely a leap of faith that's required in order for you to do this. And that can be the thing that's sort of been keeping you. That fear is the thing that's been sort of blocking you from stepping into this position of exploring. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.